So you were in a meeting and you saw it before anyone said a single word. Crossed arms, tension in the shoulders, shallow breathing, that unmistakable look that someone was about to say something they knew they were going to regret. Everyone in the room felt it and froze. You didn't intervene with authority. You didn't redirect with a forced smile. You paused. Let's take 30 seconds. Everyone breathe. We'll restart with fresh eyes. That tiny moment shifted everything. What was about to become a full blown blame spiral turned into a productive conversation. The team moved forward, not because the tension disappeared, but because it was acknowledged, managed, regulated. This is the work of emotional intelligence. This is how you practice assuming positive intent, not just believe in it, but actually do it. Because let's be honest, assuming positive intent sounds great in theory. Living it in real time, especially when you're under pressure, it's a whole different skill set. It takes practice, a lot of it, to master it. With the right emotional intelligence support, you can transform team dynamics and stop political landmines before it's too late. That's where these five techniques come in to help you and your teams to stay above that curious line, even when emotions run high. First, let's talk about the pause protocol. It's deceptively simple. When emotions spike, you're tempted to push through, respond fast, fix it, defend our position. And that very natural instinct, born out of our ancestral priority to stay alive, often creates more damage than clarity. That's why the pause protocol exists. One client of mine implemented a norm where anyone could say at any moment, I need 90 seconds. No explanation required, just a moment to breathe, regulate, and come back to center. That single phrase prevented the product owner from walking out of the planning session that was going off rails and was just frustrated. It also kept leaders from sending angry follow up emails, well, that of course they later regret. Let me take a moment. It's not weakness, it's wisdom, emotional agility in action. It's not possible to have outstanding clarity when we fall to the fight or flight. The path to clarity is to pause. Just 90 seconds, that's all it takes. Second, curiosity questions. There's a moment right before reactivity takes over when we can ask better questions. Instead of, why would you do that? Right? What are you seeing from where you stand? Or instead of, that makes no sense, right? Help me understand what led to that decision. It's not just wordplay, and it's not just being nice in how we express ourselves. There's a real reason and value behind the way that we speak. Because these are curiosity questions, they're not blame questions. And they work like a circuit breaker. They flip the energy of a conversation from defensiveness to collaboration. A team I worked with made these curiosity questions part of their meeting checklist. They had them printed on the wall to always keep them fresh in mind. Like, what problem was this trying to solve? Or what pressure might have influenced this path? Or perhaps, is there more context that we need before we can decide? They didn't just ask better questions, they got better answers and guidance to help them through the toughest moments. Third, let's talk about context before conclusion. We need to react quickly when things go wrong, especially when AR or automation are involved. The system failed. Someone made a decision that doesn't add up. We want to fix it now and pause for context. One team flagged a developer for skipping tests before deployment. It looked just outright reckless until someone asked, what constraint were you working under? Turns out they were juggling two critical escalations, and leadership had given conflicting directives. No one had asked how those tensions played out on the ground. Context didn't excuse the choice, and it explained it. And that explanation opens the door to problem solving, not punishment. Without context, we correct the wrong thing. With it, We build better systems and better relationships. Fourth, let's talk about mindfulness check ins. This is one of my favorite ones. Because it's small, it's non intrusive, and it's incredibly effective. During a meeting, especially one dealing with tension or ambiguity, someone simply asks, "Are we still above curious?" It's not about finger pointing, it's not about emotional deep dives either. It's just a calibration tool, a gentle way of saying, "Are we still in a learning state? Is our mind still open to learn new things, to see things from a different perspective?" So, Scrum Master, I know, started opening every retrospective with a check in, like, "Where are you on the mood elevator?" They use a simple printout from curious to frustrated to resigned and gave people a moment to self assess. This isn't about just being touchy feely, it's about making sure that we are well equipped to engage in the activity. Because teams that monitor their emotional state make sharper decisions, take more thoughtful actions, and recover faster from setbacks. And let's face it, setbacks will always happen. It's not about preventing them, it's about recovering quickly, safely, and without damaging our relationships in the process. And fifth, ego maintenance. Oh boy. So, this is the part that no one wants to admit it. And we just have this need to be right. Ego is tricky. Protects us and it gives us conviction. And it can also blind us into better ideas or cause us to double down when we should be shifting course. So I always offer this distinction. Being right feels good, and being effective feels even better. One of the strongest engineers I've worked with had a simple ritual. Anytime he found himself repeating the same point more than twice, he'd pause, ask himself, "Am I trying to solve the problem or win the point?" That simple question saved his teams from hundreds of derailments. Ego maintenance isn't about playing small, it's about staying clear. Clear about the goal, clear about the context, and clear about the impact your tone has on everyone else in the room. So those are your five: pause control, curiosity questions, context before conclusion, mindfulness check ins, and ego maintenance. None of these are dramatic, none require certifications, and when you use them together, they create the emotional guardrails that make assuming positive intent a lived reality instead of just some inspiring poster on the wall. Especially as AI systems increase decision velocity and ambiguity, these practices help teams stay grounded in trust, not swept up in fear. So, a question I'd like to leave you with is to really consider and ponder about: which of these five is missing in your team? Or better yet, when was the last time someone used one of these and completely changed the tone of the conversation? Drop a line in the comments. I want to hear about your stories. And if you'd like to learn more about that mood elevator I mentioned, like one of these, I'll be happy to tell you all about it.